Morning, all. All right. News of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Thursday, April the 24th. We also have 4 games tonight in the National Hockey League as the first round rolls along, and we'll discuss those as well. Starting at the top of the board, Rasmus Ristolainen, out 6 months. He's had tricep surgery. The Philadelphia Flyers will be without his services for probably the first couple of weeks of the season then, if it ends up being exactly 6 months. The season starting October 7th. It's now April 24th. 6 months from April is October. So, yeah, he may miss a couple of weeks to start the season. And we'll see whether or not he's still Flyers property. We'll see if maybe he ends up being on the move this summer. This injury, I don't think, would necessarily make a difference to a team looking to pick him up if he's only going to miss the first couple of weeks of the following season. Alexi Protas. So Montreal's down 0-2 in the series, and if Protas comes back into the series for Washington, that's really bad news for the Montreal Canadiens. Protas is traveling with the Capitals to Montreal for games 3 and 4. Doesn't mean he plays, but it means he's close enough that he's traveling with the team, and we'll see how things go for Montreal once they get back home. But I'm sure for the Habs, they're probably going to be like, no, take your time. Don't rush yourself back. It's fine. This series has been close. The return of Protas and with the way Logan Thompson's been playing, it may not be close in Game 3 if you have Protas in the lineup there and if he's good to go. Max Pacioretty in the lineup for Toronto tonight. Unusual to see a team that's up 2-0 making a lineup change. But Berube, I guess, figuring Pacioretty, better option than Robertson at this point. Maybe looking to shake things up in the bottom 6. So Pacioretty being in the lineup, he's a veteran player. We'll see how things go for the Leafs. They are in Ottawa tonight, of course. Luke Hughes and Brendan Dillon. No update on their status today. Sounds like they're going to be reevaluated tomorrow. And it is playoff time, so teams aren't going to tell you one way or the other. The Devils may very well know whether or not he's going to play, and they may not be telling us. So, but Luke Hughes, Brendan Dillon, not having them in the lineup does hurt. Jonas Siegenthaler was spotted at practice today. First time that he's been at practice since the injury. Was it today or was it yesterday? I know I saw Siegenthaler, and I'm trying to think of when I was looking at the feed. But Siegenthaler being back at practice is good. It does not mean that he's anywhere near ready to return, just that he's back at practice. But it's playoff time. So how many times have we seen, I don't know if this guy's coming back, and an hour later, they're in the lineup. So we shall see what happens with Siegenthaler and with the Devils players in general. Anthony Cirelli is a game time decision tonight for Tampa. If he's anywhere near healthy, he has to play. Tampa being down 1-0, I think they understand they can't be down 2-0 against Florida going to Florida. So I would be very surprised if Cirelli's not in the lineup. And then you'll probably want to watch his ice time and see if he's used less, if he's not 100%, or how that goes. But Tampa, not in trouble being down 1-0, but it's big trouble if they get down 2-0 in the series. The Winnipeg Jets, who are up 2-0, Velarde is traveling with the team to St. Louis. However, Ehlers is not. So Velarde is closer than Ehlers to return to the lineup. So that's the thing. The Jets are up 2-0, and they're without Gabe Velarde and Nick Ehlers. 2 really good top 6 forwards. Bad news for the rest of the NHL if these guys get back in the lineup and the Jets get healthy. The NHL posted this today. They're going to have the second chance bracket. And they pointed out that 15.6% of brackets picked the Avalanche to win the Stanley Cup. So I thought that was interesting, the way that they put that one next to the other. Like, hey, if you need a second chance bracket, we're going to bring it back. By the way, 15.6% of people picked the Avs to win the Stanley Cup. I felt seen, almost as seen as in that new Sports Interaction commercial. You know, the bad fan one where every time they press the button, their jersey changes. I'm like, that's interesting. Guy's got a jersey for every team. Because I've definitely seen that where people are like, he just changes his jersey, changes which team he's rooting for based on whatever. But anyways, so the brackets, we'll see if the second chance brackets are needed. I don't really care one way or the other. I don't get nearly as like zoned in on, okay, here were my predictions as I did say 7 or 8 years ago. I don't really care. But let me know, are you going to need a second chance bracket? Is there a chance you're going to need one? I had Colorado and Tampa in the finals, so things are looking good for my bracket. Just got to say. But either way, like I said, this year's playoffs are really hard to predict, and it just makes it more fun to watch that way. Ranger fans, and the reason I'm wearing a Rangers jersey, I want to know how Ranger fans feel about this too. Chris Drury gets a vote of confidence from those above him. He gets a multi-year extension as general manager of the New York Rangers. I'm mildly surprised. I say mildly because we have seen plenty of times before where a GM will get skewered by fans online or by media, and they keep their job. The most famous example from down the road here would be Jim Benning in Vancouver, who hung on for a very long time, beyond where some believed that he should probably have been out. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think keeping Chris Drury around is the right idea, not the right idea? I will say this, the Rangers, yes, they missed the playoffs this year, but outside of this season, there's been some good success under Drury, and I think it's fine to give him a chance to turn things around for the team. We'll see if that does take place. So as I mentioned before, we have 4 games tonight, and this should be a lot of fun. Starting at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. So at least they're starting earlier tonight, and they're ending earlier tonight, so big thumbs up for that. Florida against Tampa. Florida leads this series 1-0. As I previously mentioned, Tampa Bay has to win this game. There is no way around it. Tampa Bay has to win the game. If they do not, the Florida Panthers are taking them out, and this could be done quickly. So Tampa Bay has to win this. Vasilevsky will be starting because, of course, he is. And so, yeah, we'll see how things go. Vasilevsky has to bounce back from what was not a great game 1. Just put it that way. Not a great one. Then it's 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Ottawa Senators. Because of the timing of these games, I will again have 4 reviews that are stacked up one after the other, after the other, after the other, at the end of all the games when everything's done. Toronto and Ottawa should be fun, though. Toronto's up 2-0 in this series. Ottawa has to win tonight. I expect probably some punches to be thrown, probably a lot of hits, especially early, and a pretty intense game. And Ullmark needs to bounce back from a bit of a subpar performance through the first 2 games. They have to figure out Stolarz too. Then at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights and the Minnesota Wild. Now keep in mind, this is in Minnesota. It's a 9 o'clock start, so that's an hour later than normal. Plus, since it's going to be a double header, there's 2.5 hours between these 2 games. That means this one will start later. So the actual puck drop will probably be around 20 minutes past 9 o'clock Eastern rather than, about 10 minutes or around 8 minutes after. So that series is tied at 1. Minnesota, they get the win tonight. They're in charge. So Vegas has to treat this as a must-win. I think they will, and that should lead to some very entertaining hockey. I will admit, I think it would be awesome to see Minnesota. And it's not the everybody hates Vegas thing. It's just Minnesota's gone through so many first-round exits, and they've become kind of a non-entity when it comes to contenders in the playoffs, and I would love to see that change, where people take them seriously and say, maybe Minnesota's for real. And Kaprizov's been playing really, really well, so is Boldy. So we'll see how that one goes tonight, but it is a big game for Vegas as well. 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, Winnipeg in St. Louis. So this is a later start than normal for St. Louis, and again, people in the central time zones always get mixed up, and I just mean anything not Eastern or Pacific, right? So Winnipeg leads that series 2-0, so it is a must-win for St. Louis as well. We're going to see Hellebuck, we're going to see Binnington yet again, and we'll see if Binnington gets the victory tonight or if Hellebuck gets another one. Because if Winnipeg goes up 3-0, and also, of course, if Toronto goes up 3-0, those series are basically done. So tonight's hockey should be a lot of fun. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section below, or on any of the items on the board as well. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.